Hello, welcome to Chapter 2 of Science, Components of Food. So far, we've learned that food is made up of ingredients, which make up a greater meal. Today, we're going to be learning that meals are made up of different kinds of food. A lot of the time, meals consist of three components. We have a rice or a bread group, we have a meat group, and we have a vegetables group. Some may even have a dairy group. A dairy group could be foods like curd or milk. Now, have you ever wondered why foods or meals are composed of such elements? It is because each of the foods that are combined to make a dish or a meal contain 5 important group components. Now, these 5 group components are carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, and minerals. Okay, repeat after me. Carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, and minerals. Now, we take into consideration vitamins and minerals as one group. However, there are 3 other groups: carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. Carbohydrates are the rice, the bread, the grain. They are very, very important for us to eat because they are our main source of energy. They provide sugar into our blood. Proteins are also very important. They help with muscle development or muscle growth because we need muscles to move our body. Protein is normally used for muscle repair because sometimes when exercising or doing very hard activity with your body, our muscle creates small tears, which then needs to be repaired by proteins. Proteins consist of foods like meat or dal or eggs. These are foods that are high in protein. Let's move on to fats. Fats are used by our body to make us more warmer. Fats could be oil, or fats could sometimes be in meat as well. We'll learn more about these components later on. Now, we're going to conduct 3 experiments today. An experiment to test for starch, an experiment to test for protein, and an experiment to test for fats. Now, for test number 1, which is the test for starch, we need to take a small quantity of a food item or a raw ingredient and place 2 to 3 drops of iodine solution. Now, iodine solution is a special solution that shows us if starch is present. Starch is what carbohydrates contain. This could be rice, or this could be bread, or even potatoes. Potatoes are very rich in starch, making it a carbohydrate, the source of our energy that is used to run in the playground. Now, the iodine solution will turn either black or blue when starch is there or starch is present in the food that you have used. So try it out. Next, we're going to be looking at the test for protein. For protein, we are going to need a small piece of food of a protein. You are going to need copper sulfate. Copper sulfate is a solution that normally is blue. It is a very special solution. You will also need caustic soda. Caustic soda is very important to this experiment, and you will need 10 drops of this solution, which means it is a liquid like water or a drink. Now, first you have to grind your food item, that is a protein. So if you're going to grind meat, or if you're going to grind dal. Now, after you've ground your ingredients or the food of protein, then you're going to need to add 10 drops of water to your protein. That will be in a test tube. After you've added 10 drops of water, you're going to mix it. You're going to stir it. After you stir it, you're going to need 2 drops of copper sulfate solution and 10 drops of caustic soda. I'm going to repeat this again. Add 10 drops of water to your protein, shake it, then using a dropper, add 2 drops of copper sulfate and 10 drops of caustic soda. They are both solutions. After you have mixed all of these together, shake it, shake the test tube very, very well. And what do you see? Does it turn a purple violet color? If it turns purple or violet, that means proteins are present in this food. If not, that means proteins are not present. So remember, if it turns purple, that means proteins are present. And finally, we're gonna do a test for fats. Now, the test for fats only requires you to have a fat food item, a fatty food item, crush it, and put it in a piece of paper. Wrap that piece of paper around it. Let it sit for a while. After you have let it sit for 2 to 3 minutes, unwrap it, take out your food item, and let it dry if there is a little bit of water on it, or if there is no water on it because your fatty food item didn't contain any sort of water inside the food, then you take it and you feel it. Does it have an oily patch on it? Does it feel a little oily on the paper? If it feels oily, that means your food item is a fatty food item. That oily patch is the oil of the food that has come out. This experiment is very simple, and you can do it anytime, anywhere, at home. It's a very good experiment to conduct if you want to see if your food has a lot of fat in it. You can even conduct all 3 experiments on one food. So you can conduct the protein experiment, the carbohydrate experiment, and the fat experiment only on one food. For example, an almond, a nut, or it could be a meat. You can see what is present in each food and maybe how much of it is present in each food.